Marvel can try to control the narrative all they want, but the reality remains that Phase 4 of the MCU was a massive disappointment for Disney. So much so that now we have rumors coming out that Phase 4 was so bad that the people at Disney are considering restructuring Phase 5 and 6 to make sure the same thing doesn't happen again. But what happened in Phase 4 of the MCU was exactly what they wanted, what Kevin Feige said so long ago, when they said they were done focusing on entertaining people and instead they wanted to focus on identity politics. And to do that, they were going to make sure that everybody got represented, even though there was nothing wrong with Marvel before. In fact, they built the most successful franchise of all time from a financial standpoint. But no, Kevin Feige said, we want to have more male heroes than we have female heroes. And that was clearly the agenda in Phase 4. But when somebody goes and they call that out a little bit in a joking manner on Twitter, well, suddenly it's the end of the world. And that's what happened to my friend Chris Gore the other day when he uttered a simple phrase, make Marvel male again, and had a little gif of a couple male Marvel characters in Endgame rushing towards the battle. Now, of course, in the background, you have a couple female characters in the background here, and even later on in this movie, you had an entire girl power scene, which was one of the most cringe things we'd seen up to that point in the MCU. Obviously a joking tweet because there still are men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but there's a little bit of truth to this in terms of the agenda when you look at the fact that they are definitely trying to demasculinize the MCU. There's no doubt about that. They've admitted that. Kevin Feige, Victoria Alonso, they've said that that's what they want to do. But the response to this has been absolutely insane. When you scroll through some of these replies, when you see some of the death threats, when you see the typical Marvel stan behavior, but then you also see some people in the industry, in Los Angeles, people who know and are supposedly friends with Chris Gore, demanding that he delete this. How dare you explain this joke to me? It's absolutely pathetic. After years and years of people in Hollywood saying the future is female, we need a hero, all these marketing campaigns and interviews and people saying we need to make this a female-dominated space, all of that very out in the open, and one joke tweet about make Marvel male again, all of a sudden, it's the end of the world. And you can see, there's even been a couple articles written about this. Fan slam viral misogynistic make Marvel male again tweet. But my favorite one is probably from the Mary Sue. I'm not sure how the Mary Sue continues to run. Maybe all these cat ladies, maybe they just don't feed their cats as much. We got starving cats to keep the Mary Sue alive, but there is an article here as well. It's a day that ends in Y, so a man is being gross about female characters on the internet. And this is, of course, by Rachel Leichman. You might have seen her on Twitter. She's turns up in all the places you would expect someone like this to turn up. But anyway, let's get into this because it's honestly pretty funny. When in doubt, some guy on the internet's going to say something sexist and ridiculous because they want attention. So here you go, sir. I'm giving the attention you are so desperately craving. Chris Gore, who is reportedly a director and writer, I'm not exaggerating when I say I looked up what movies and television shows he's done and didn't recognize a single title on that list. Well, I mean, maybe it's because it's not like a Marvel movie and it's not like some feminist propaganda movie. Maybe that's why. Took to Twitter to share the brilliant and intelligent take of make Marvel male again because these sexists never have an original thought. The idea that Phase 4 has been the MCU and has featured more female characters than male. First of all, that's straight up false. Second, boo-hoo, go touch some grass if a female superhero makes you that angry. Well, let's take a step back here and look at Phase 4 as a whole. What was the goal from Kevin Feige? To eventually get to a point in time where we have more female characters than male in the MCU. Now, is that the case yet? Not quite, but they're certainly well on their way. But to focus not just for heroes, but also for antagonists, because most of the female characters in this aren't actually villains. There's some sort of sympathetic plight to it because, you know, we've seen this over and over again. Look at Scarlet Witch in Multiverse of Madness, all these things. The priority for them has been to push that. There's no doubt about that. And when you look at the failure of Phase 4 in the box office, on streaming, as Disney Plus loses $1.5 billion just just in the last 3 months. Pathetic. That was during She-Hulk's run, by the way, interestingly enough. But it is clear that fans are tired of this agenda with Marvel. Is it just female characters being pushed? Of course not. There's a lot of different issues going on at Marvel, from quality control, from visual effects, to just the entire way that they're doing things. Hiring these people, they don't actually have any control over a project. They're just little puppeteers that are just supposed to do whatever like the AI generated thing spits out for them to do. It's really pathetic, and Marvel's fallen so far over the past several years. But to pretend like there hasn't been some agenda at play with female characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that is laughable if you actually believe that, oh no, it's just happenstance, when Kevin Feige himself admitted it back in 2018. Looking at Phase 4, we had more male superheroes featured prominently than females. The numbers for the first time are closer, but there's still more male heroes featured than female characters. So when men like Chris Gore log into Twitter to act like there are no male characters left in the Marvel world, I have to laugh. All you're doing is showing your sexism loud and proud. And it just continues on with the same type of thing there. There's nobody that thinks there's not going to be a single male character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this joking tweet got so much backlash from the very same people who for years have been saying, again, like I said, the future is female. They've been pushing all of these things. That's what they want to dominate the MCU. It's not enough just to have equal characters. Not until we have more than men will it be acceptable. And as we continue to see, everything that Marvel's doing right now while pushing that agenda is a recipe for disaster. But if you do want to listen to my man Chris Gore, go over there to Film Threat. Go subscribe to that channel. This is a thing he did. This is a rant he just did explaining all of this about his Make Marvel Male Again tweet and about all the things that happen in it. There's some really good stuff. Highly recommend you go check that out. There will be a link to his channel in the pinned comment and in the description. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.